Hey, this is Jordan Allen, London, Kentucky native and singer-songwriter, and you're listening to the Locally Branded Podcast, sponsored by Kemper Home Furnishings, where we explore the wins, losses, and everything in between of local people just like you.
Thanks for watching Locally Branded and listening to Locally Branded Podcast. Today we have with us someone, honestly, in my opinion, is really special to this area. If and I again, I won't take the limelight, introduce you, but I'll let you introduce yourself if you can,
Okay.
and just let you go ahead and tell our audience, tell the viewers who you are and what it is that you're doing here. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, my name's Tracie Byers, and I'm the founder of Isaiah 58:10 Ministries and Outreach here in London. And the ministry started when I was volunteering at the Good Samaritan House, cooking, and a testimony came across the radio of a young man who was fresh off the streets and clean and got a job. And when his dad would pick him up from work, he would ask his dad to take him to McDonald's to get food for his friends that were still out there.
Hmm.
And that spoke multitudes to me. And so, right after that, me and a few other people started delivering food to homeless encampments in London and Corbin of about 40 meals every 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
And our ministry puts out plus or minus 300 sack lunches now.
Hmm.
And we started out just London and Corbin, and now we're serving 8 counties in
Jeez.
in Kentucky, and we're even reaching into Jellicoe and Knoxville, Tennessee.
Hmm.
So the need is great.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the need because that's well, one, being inspired by somebody else's movement is really big. I talk a lot on the podcast about leadership and about, the podcast is based off leadership, like and setting examples for others. And some people, just by being a naturally good person, inspire others. And it seems like that's kind of what happened with that. You said it was a young gentleman that was doing that, inspired you to do this. Now look what you're doing.
Yeah.
So one, I commend you because it's and not that you need my approval by no means. I don't mean that in any way, but like I commend you for seeing that, letting that inspire you, and then look what you're doing now. Look how many people that you're helping. Look how many people that you've helped. It's pretty amazing. You and I talked once before, with me having the London neighbors, we had sat and talked, and you'd show me the facility, and I'd been there, and so I was pretty amazed. I was really amazed. But let's talk about the need. Let's talk about the need. The need of not just food delivery. Talk a little bit about it. Talk about, delivering, not just delivering food to the homeless, but what's going on here, with
Oh my
in the
gosh.
area.
I, the whole scenario of homeless and addiction breaks my heart anyway.
Hmm.
Um, but what gets me the most is the elderly that are out there.
Hmm.
I mean, I have 5 elderly people right now that I've helped get through the winter with our White Flag Ministry and our warming center, but I've also been feeding them and helping however I can. But they can't find affordable housing, and so they're out there.
Hmm.
And what do? You just keep hoping and praying and doing the best you can.
Hmm.
But every time I have to say, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that, I want to point them to somebody who can.
Hmm.
But even the people I'm pointing people to are limited with what they can do.
Hmm.
It's a problem.
Yeah. So how many people would you say? I mean, and I know it's probably a hard number to judge, or you may have the exact number, but the number of people that monthly that that you talked about the elderly, and that's something really important to me, especially like they. I was raised around my grandparents. Like I had great mother and father. Don't get me wrong, but I was always at my grandfather's, grandmother's for the summers. We was up, the place to hang out as kids was our grandparents' house. Like it was, we respected our elderly. Like
Mm-hmm.
we knew and we seen. My grandmother also had Parkinson's, so we got to see her go through that. But I couldn't imagine someone going through that, also not having a home, also not having a place to live, dealing with like the winter that we had this year.
It was hard.
I mean, the number of people that's here in this area, that you service, that you help? I mean, we can almost even say daily. How many do you think, like, and you can rough ball it here, I guess, with when it comes to the percentage, but how many of them are the elderly? Probably is it the majority?
No, I can't say it's the
Yeah.
majority. But
Even if it's one, it's too many though.
they're
Yeah.
out there. We we helped just in the month of February, approximately 23 to 25 people get out of the cold
Mm.
just in the month of February.
It was frigid too.
January was our bad month, but that's when we had the ice storm.
Yeah.
And people lost power, so they had to have a place to go. But out of the 23 to 25 people, I think 5 or 6 of them were elderly.
Hmm. And it's, with me, it isn't, if elderly or not elderly, if they don't have something, but my heart kind of goes out to those, especially that are elderly for sure. Only because, the way that I was raised, the way that, we respected our elders, things like that. It's almost, and anybody really in that situation, mentally or not, they're a little bit helpless almost to the point, right? But thank God for someone like you all in your outreach and your ministry that takes the notion, that takes the effort daily to go out there and do these things for those that don't have or are unable to have or not. But let's talk about that need again real quick because I want our viewers, our listeners, our people that are watching this, I want them to know how big of a need is this in this area.
It's really big.
Yeah.
Uh, um, I I'm sorry I don't have numbers.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah.
I know they just did a census
Hmm.
and they were I call it, I'm not sure it was a census, but they were counting homeless people in our area.
Hmm.
Um, and they did it at the end of the month when everybody just got paid.
Hmm.
So you're not going to see them
No.
when they've got money in their pocket.
Hmm.
They're going to go do something.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of them are on Social Security,
Hmm.
either for disability or for their age. So we can't get an accurate count like that.
Yeah, especially if the census is being run after they've been paid, you know. And it's funny because as a stigma of the public is, well, they're getting money, they're getting paid, they should be fine.
But they're not.
They might be for that day or
Mm-hmm.
for a few days. What about after? Shortest month of the year is February at 28 days. What are they going to do for the other 24?
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's something that our ministry is working on right now. A lot of people don't know how to manage their money,
Hmm.
and I'm telling you, I'm guilty.
Same. Yeah.
But so we are trying to set up classes either monthly or quarterly, whatever it looks like
Hmm.
when we get it set up, so that people can learn to manage their money. That way, when they do get an apartment, they don't lose it.
Hmm.
You know, that there's so much lack of knowledge.
Mm.
If you don't know, you just don't know.
Yeah.
You get caught up in routine. So we have to offer people something to help them. The scripture about give a man a fish,
Hmm.
you feed him for a day, you teach him to fish. He can take care of himself beyond
Hmm.
that. So we have to teach people how to take care of themselves.
Mm. That's a good point. Do you have? We'll talk about volunteers here in a moment because I know that's a huge part of what you all do, like needing volunteers, and
Mm-hmm.
I think also you guys are educating on how to be a volunteer as well.
Right.
Again, the educational part of it, like the knowledge of it, and I think that's what's lacking in this area. Me personally, maybe I'm wrong, but me personally, I feel like the knowledge of what these people are going through daily, not just one time a month,
No,
but what they're going through daily is the knowledge isn't out there for it, you know?
it's hard.
Hmm.
And there's so many resources. People don't know where they are.
Mm.
They don't know about them. They don't know what's available to them. So we have a QR code on every sack lunch
Hmm.
that'll take people to a resource list on our website.
Hmm.
And they don't have to wait for an appointment. They can get on there and see.
Mm.
You know, we have resource management with RRJ Solutions.
Hmm.
And Shannon Kane, he sits down and talks to people and tries to help them
Hmm.
find resources that'll help them. We just yesterday started setting up a media center at the
I
warehouse.
seen that.
So we're doing everything we can to try and help people to get out of the situation they're in. And granted, they have to want it. Not everybody wants it, but the ones that do should have the opportunity. You know.
Yeah, have the opportunity to come, learn, get some food, get some warmth. I mean, thank goodness it's warming up.
Right.
But then this summer you're going to have issues of it being hot. So it's not just, just this winter. We had a hard winter and we need help this winter. It's I couldn't imagine. I really couldn't. Like, listen, I'm a single father, I have a house. I have, I feel blessed. I feel thankful. Could not imagine going through this winter or any summer or any time of the day without a roof over my head.
Right.
I couldn't. I can't put myself in their shoes and be like, I couldn't imagine, because I really couldn't. So, but being able to understand the things of being able to manage finances, it's probably something that they've never gotten an opportunity to learn, or if they have, not knowing how they can go about getting that without having to pay someone $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 to learn.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. It is. So these courses you're talking about, like these classes or these instructionals, that you're giving out, they're free. Am I correct?
Yes, they are.
Now, how big is that? Because listen, education isn't cheap.
No, it's
Any kind of education,
It's not cheap.
Monthly, weekly, daily. I do leadership stuff all the time. I just took a stack of books home to put in the library. That's leadership books. Constantly, always learning. Always. They weren't free. These things are not free. Those are just books to read, right? So having the knowledge of how to manage their finances, what to do with finances when they get them, how to set something simple as a bill chart, to help them manage things. Most of the time, the public or the area, you got to pay someone to teach you this stuff. So again, I commend you because you're doing something that is really well needed, like so needed. And I'll say this, that's not even just needed for the homeless or for those that are in need. There's a lot of people that are not homeless that need that type of class.
It's a life skill.
It is.
It's a life skill, and it should be taught.
And so I'm going to reach out and for my help. I'm going to try to help. I always try to help whoever's here that needs help or needs something. I'm going to reach out to the contacts that I have and see who is financial literacy type person that we can come and get and volunteer for you for that class to help.
Thank you.
Now, do I have somebody? Not right off the top of my head. Give me a few moments to reach out to some of my contacts, and we'll see.
Thank you.
We'll see who we can find that can really help and maybe get on the same page to help these people understand this is how we can do this, and someone that's willing to volunteer their time to do so. That's the biggest thing is finding volunteers. Let's talk about that though. That's a fun topic,
It's
right?
a big one. Yeah.
So none of this happens. Like obviously, I know you're doing a lot of it. I know you're doing a bunch of stuff, but you're not doing it alone.
I'm not doing it alone.
Yeah. That's if you give a shout out or however you want to the ones that are helping you currently, like who else helps you?
There's two. I can't enlist
There's
them
so
all
many,
right
right?
now. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people. I mean, every day I have people show up at the warehouse ready to work, ready to help, and it's amazing what they do. They're always like, "What can I take off your shoulders, Tracie?"
Yeah.
They're constantly stepping up to help. It's great. I've got the best team. I've got the best team.
It makes a big difference.
The drivers, the admin, the warehouse workers, cleaning and organizing. We're getting ready to kick off a garden project. So we're looking for people to help with the raised beds out at the extensions office.
Yeah.
They're letting us use those to do a garden project.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So yeah, we've really got a lot going on. We're getting ready to kick off a food drive. So we need help with that. It's huge. The need is huge. And nobody, not even me, nobody in the warehouse gets paid.
Yeah. All volunteers.
All volunteers, all donations.
It's
all
funny
of it.
because, with dealing with a few organizations, and I've had hand in several. We went to a food bank that was down. My team did, not just locally, but throughout Kentucky, Tennessee. We went down to a food bank that was down in Nashville, and we helped people shop for their food within these food banks that are given out. And it's just that crowd, like just to help those people, to be able to see the volunteers that run that place.
It's beautiful, isn't
Yeah,
it?
isn't it?
Because their heart is in it. If they're
Yeah.
volunteering and they're consistent, their heart is in it,
Mm-hmm.
and they show up with a smile, and it shows.
Mm-hmm.
It shows that they want to help, and they love people, and they love to help, and it's the best.
So what's the main thing you need volunteers for right now?
Right now, drivers. I need to set up more hubs throughout Kentucky so that the bulk of the workload's not falling on us in London.
Mm.
Our Lily hub, they're the ones serving in Tennessee, in Jellicoe and
Okay.
Knoxville, but they're also serving Gray, Lily, Corbin, Flat Lick, all of that surrounding area.
Mm.
So they work really hard too. They're put out between 300 and 500 sack lunches every week.
Wow.
3 weeks
Every
out of
week?
every week.
Wow.
3 weeks out of the month. Yes, they do.
Wow. That's it's sad. And it makes me I can't put myself in their shoes. I couldn't imagine having those volunteers that are there. So if you need help with volunteers for that, I'm asking if you can volunteer your time. And here's the thing with volunteers. A lot of people, and I've heard this several times, well, if I go volunteer, they're going to expect me to be there every single day. If I volunteer, I got to be there for several hours. Listen, if you can show up and you can spend an hour of your day, if you can spend 20 minutes of your day helping pack sack lunches, if it's 20 minutes a day, it's an hour a week. If you do 5 days a week, right? Maybe my math is off on that, or
No.
maybe it's more. But
Oh, I don't dictate hours to anybody.
yeah, there you go.
I mean, they make their own hours. There's a calendar right inside my office door
Mm-hmm.
and I have it set up so I don't have all the volunteers on Monday and nobody on Friday.
Sure. Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
they can write down, they can see who's coming in and when, and, they can work their own hours.
Mm.
I don't dictate hours.
Yeah.
And they can find what they want to do. If they want, some people are more happy cleaning, and some people are happier packing sack lunches, and some admin getting on the computer, keeping up with all the flow of what's going through the warehouse. We need to start writing grants.
Mm.
We don't have a grant writer yet, so we're trying to keep up with our data collection charts and
Yeah.
sheets. I'm not making any sense, I know, but
No.
we gotta figure out what's going through the warehouse so that we can put it on the grant,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can see what we're doing.
Do you have a grant writer in mind, or no? Not yet. Waiting to get everything situated at the warehouse first before.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe we can help with that too. I have some connections that are grant writers that we can.
Thank you.
However, we can help. You know what I mean, as far as that goes. Actually, talked to a lady that's actually her specialty, and it's usually for grants for things that are not known of, or that are seeked throughout the state that people need, that they don't know they have access to. So she specializes in that. So I'll reach out to her when time is right. You let me know when time is right, and we'll try to make that connection to see if she can help with that, because that's a huge part. But with with the volunteer side of things, I mentioned that people mention they have to be there for long periods of time, or they have to, and I say that because there's volunteers. I have also a family in Northern Kentucky as well, that volunteer their time with a bunch of different organizations, and a lot of those organizations require you to be there for so long to volunteer for the day. Like you need to do the whole day, or you need to do. And I don't think, especially with the individuals that you service, 5 minutes to them would mean a lot.
Yeah, I love when people come in as a peer support kind of scenario and just sit and talk to people one on one.
Yeah.
They don't need to be preached to. They don't need to be in large groups all the time. Sometimes they just need some one on one.
Yeah.
And so peer support is amazing. So I am looking for peer support
Okay.
to come in. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
That would be good. And that's to me, having a conversation. I tell everybody that's involved with everything that I do that if you need something from me or anybody on my team or whatever the case may be, regardless, it's a simple conversation. And sometimes having just a simple conversation with somebody can change everything about them. Everything about them. And listen, you mentioned addiction too. That's also a big part of of the individuals that you service, right?
Sadly.
And it's extremely sad. I don't think there's not a person out there who's listening, watching, whatever, is doesn't know somebody or is not related to somebody or has, friends that have battled, fought, or dealt with addiction.
Hmm.
And it's hard. Like it's a rough thing. It is some people say it's just a mental illness. Sometimes it just really depends, right? And we won't get into too much of that, but I wanted to say you also dealt with those with addiction. And to me, my heart goes out to them just as much as the homeless, even if they're not homeless and just have an addiction. I've had several family members that have passed away at a very young age due to addiction. But again, they didn't have the resources. They didn't have, the ability to know where to go to get help. And I've had some that wanted help and I don't know where to go to.
Right.
And there would be nowhere to go to, literally.
There are organizations out there that will come get you.
Mm-hmm.
If you say, I'm ready now, they'll come get you now. They're not going to let any grass grow under your feet.
Yeah.
Because it's important. When someone says they're ready, you have to act.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they tend to fall back and say, well, nobody cares.
Yeah.
And then they go and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then their hope is lost.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And you've made those connections, am I correct? Do you know those connections or know those organizations that...
Not just me, but some of my team too
Yeah.
have been able to point people not only to Jesus, but to resources that can help them.
And listen, that's big. And I had nothing from them. All things are great through God, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is some really rough times that everybody goes through. And, not just me individually, but anybody personally. If I could say anything to anybody is you need to have God in your life, period.
That's where the peace is at.
Hey, isn't that the truth?
That's where your peace is at, is with Him. Absolutely.
And that helps any situation. I mean, whether it be homelessness or hunger or addiction, you got to have God in your life.
Absolutely.
You have to.
Mm-hmm.
Again, let's Isaiah 58:10 location.
110 Burley Avenue. It's off of Tobacco Road where CB Pallets used to be in the warehouse.
Now, do you serve lunches there too as well or no?
We are going to... Currently, we're still under white flag, so we're
Okay.
serving dinner Monday through Friday at 4:30 to 5:30. But March 15th, white flag ends. So we're going to be joining with some of the other ministries in the area who do soup kitchens from Monday to Wednesday. So we're going to be serving Thursday and Friday. So nobody in London should ever have to be hungry.
No.
There's soup kitchens, there's blessing boxes. Our blessing box is filled every day. There's no reason for people to be hungry in London.
No. I really wanted people to know, to hear and see that have the opportunity to view this or listen to it, where they can come to for a meal if they need it.
Thank you.
So, no, thank you.
We have emergency food boxes too.
Yeah.
If funds are short, come get a food box. If it's another week before your food stamps get reinstated, come get a food box.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to judge you.
Mm-mm.
We've all had hard times. So let us help.
Yeah. And that's something too, like even with the school systems, and I'm not relating it, I kind of am, but they still had the with the backpack program, for the longest time, like even with my daughter, like she would come home with a sack lunch, or she would come home with some sacks. There's resources out there, is what I'm saying.
There are.
And you are a big part of that. Like, I don't think people realize or understand or see, you're not just some nonprofit organization trying to get funds for something. These are people's lives you're changing.
We're trying.
Yeah.
We're really trying.
I think you're doing very, very well. I mean, I know sometimes it doesn't seem like it. I know sometimes it can feel like that no one's listening or no one's seen. But I can promise you that people are taking notice. And without people like you, they will never take notice. So you're more important than you realize. Your organization, your volunteers are way more important than you realize.
My volunteers are priceless. They are priceless.
So again, I want to plug this real quick because we're almost out of time. But I want to. Is there anything else you would like to talk about with the ministry? Things that you are doing, something that you would like to highlight in individually? Anything?
I have big dreams.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have enough time.
Yeah.
But
Well, tell us one.
I
Tell us
have
one real quick.
huge dreams.
Mhm.
Okay, one of my dreams includes a huge 27,000 square foot recovery community center
Hmm.
where people can go to encourage and be encouraged
Yeah.
with free coffee and food and with a media center and games like pool or hockey, air
Hmm.
hockey or ping pong,
Yeah.
just to be examples. Um, Peer support, counseling, showers and laundry,
Hmm.
just a huge place to go.
Hmm.
And I'm going to borrow from Planet Fitness. It's a judgment-free zone.
Yeah. Hmm.
I think that's important.
Yeah. It is. I mean, that's a good dream. I like that.
It's a big dream.
And listen, there's enough, and I'm not calling anybody out, anybody specific. There's enough property and business owners here in London that could help make that happen. I think as not only just as your organization, but as a community, we should try to come together for that specific goal.
It takes a community.
It does. It takes more than a village.
Absolutely.
It takes multiple villages
Yeah.
to make something like that run and happen. But when you look at areas that have something like that, and I don't know the exact number or study on it, but I could almost guarantee that the numbers of homelessness is less. Education is higher. I would say the suicide rate is probably less as well, which is a big issue. And I say that having family members who have went through that, have done that, that were addiction, that were homeless at times, and the end result was that. So, your dreams are awesome.
appreciate that.
I wish we had another half an hour or so or more to talk about the rest of your dreams, because the goal of where you're headed, you're on the right path to get there.
Thank you.
So don't quit, don't stop, and always, if there's ever anything that we can need, and I will say this, and I'll publicly say this in front of, I do have an entire thing that I had reached out to Karen with, and she's fantastic, isn't she?
Yeah, she's pretty great.
That I have, it's probably 28 or 29 things of the big hand sanitizers, and I'm sure with Dale and with food, I need to get those to you, but I will.
Thank
I
you.
promise.
Thank you.
Anybody else or anything? Tell us one more time where you're at. You also have a warming center, I've seen at the old sheriff's office. Am I correct?
Yes.
So let's talk. Just quickly say that. Let's talk about that. The warming center, because you know how Kentucky is. Even though it's March, we have about 2 more winters left before winter's actually done here in Kentucky. So, if a warming center is also needed, is that solely just a warming center,
It
or
is.
okay?
It is. Our contract expires in September.
Okay.
So I don't know if the city is going to let us renew our contract.
Sure.
So it may stay there. It may not. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going to happen yet. But we're getting ready to have a lessons learned meeting about our white flag and warming center, all the things we did wrong and all the things we did right, and try to do better next year.
Yeah.
So it's all up in the air right now as to what it's going to look like. But I think a lot of people appreciated it this year, and a lot of volunteers stepped up to help make it happen. I mean, going out at midnight and 2 o'clock in the morning to come help, that's dedication.
I think it would be huge too, and I can't say I can make this happen, but I can help try to make it happen. Having the school systems have some of the kids from the high school come out to volunteer.
For a warming shelter?
No, for the food center, like for at the
Oh,
ministry
food
to help.
center. Yeah, oh, yeah, that would be
Yeah,
great.
definitely not the warming center
No,
for sure. No. But for the food, food portion of it to come
Yeah.
out and help with that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, too, that's gonna help the youth, the younger group kind of see that there's really this many people. Because I'm a firm believer that the generation that's in the high school, middle school age now is going to be our future, 100%. They're the ones who's going to change and turn everything around.
Our homeschool helpers are priceless.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
Priceless.
Yeah, for sure. So let's give the location.
Okay, the location is 110 Burley Avenue, London. It's off of Tobacco Road, where CB Pallets used to be.
Awesome. And then the Warman Center is at the old sheriff's office at?
South Broad, across the street from Sauce Pizza.
All right, fantastic. And then go ahead and give us the website too. That way we can put that out there for others.
It's is5810.com.
is5810.com. Now, again, just like I always promise everybody, we're going to do a second one of these for sure. And I like what you said a while ago, because my daughter and I, we do this all the time, right? So let's do it. We're going to pinky promise for a second one for sure. I want to follow up on the dreams. We're going to see how things go, and however we can do to help, we will. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.
Thanks. I appreciate you too.